What's different about the SMYK Tour is that I got to perform in front of a whole new fan base, and it was just new to me. It was crazy. I went to these venues and these people were turning up. I'm talking flashing lights everywhere. I'm talking robots, just people going crazy, glow sticks everywhere, and it was really different because everyone came to have a good time. There was no malice. There was no crew favoritism. Everybody was just there to have a good time. And you know, I come from a background of doing hip hop and reggae shows, and you know, like, it's not really held at these large venues the way these EDM shows are. And I got to perform in front of hundreds of people, and that was a new feeling for me. And not only was it new performing in front of hundreds of people, but it was just new. The experience, everything was just crazy. It was flashing lights everywhere. We were climbing on speaker boxes. Like, I'm not used to that in hip hop, you know what I'm saying? So it was definitely an eye-opening experience for me, and I'm addicted. I gotta go back on the EDM tour. I just have to. My favorite city would have to be New York. As a kid growing up in New York City, you always dream of performing on the big stages in New York, and that's always a dream. And matter of fact, not only if you come from New York, but people all over the world aspire to perform in New York. So that was my favorite city to perform in, and not only just because of the show itself, but just being back home and being able to perform in front of my friends. That was a great experience, and it was surreal to say the least. And to have a main event slot in New York, that was ridiculous, to be honest. My favorite performance would have to be, I'd have to say ATL was one of my favorite performances. And the reason why I say ATL is my favorite performance because the crowd was so loud. Like, I talked about the robots and the glow sticks earlier, and that's where a lot of that happened. And they were just so turned from the beginning to the end. They partied for hours, and I went in it was like 6 different rooms, and in every room they was turning up and going crazy, and they showed the most love. And another thing about it was my mom came out to that show, and you know, the EDM show is probably not the best place for you to bring your mom, but she said she had to be on this tour and see me perform on this tour at least one time, so I brought her out to ATL, and that made it even more special for me. I would also have to say that the Emerald Isle show was crazy. That's one of my favorites too. Like, they was turned up from the beginning. When we first got there, we wasn't sure because it's the first time we've been to that area, and I was like, yo, I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but they packed the building out, and once we started performing, actually before we hit the stage, it was like, oh, y'all performing tonight? And they showed the most love from the jump, you know what I'm saying? And once we hit the stage, it was all love. They was turning up the whole time. And one thing that stood out to me was there was a young lady there. She had just beat cancer. So she was there with the bald head and everything. I'm like, why this lady's going hard? And I had no idea at that point that she had just beat cancer that day. So she was there living it up, and she was having such a good time, and she told me about it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna shout her out. But before I even got to shout her out, when we dropped Moneymaker, she's like, I love this song. So she rushes to the stage, and she throws me down on the stage, and all you see is me disappear under this wave of twerking. Like, I couldn't even move. I had to sit there and perform with the bust out wine like your comfort and everything. Like, she was going off, and she just turned up the whole night. So Emerald Island, I love y'all. I definitely gotta go back out there. And as far as like the craziest part of the tour for me, like I said, was the women. I just alluded to the story of the lady throwing me down on the stage, but believe it or not, that's not the only time that's happened. Like, that happened multiple times on the tour. Like in New York, I got tired. I ain't even gonna flex. I got tired. So what I did was I sat down on the stage, and Shorty came up while I'm sitting down on the stage rapping my verse, trying to be smart about it, trying to rest and perform at the same time. And she just starts twerking on me, so I have no choice but to keep performing this song. It wasn't even a twerk song, but I had to keep it gangster and still get the lap dance, you know what I'm saying? And not only just that, it was just girls kissing girls. It was normal on this, like there was kissing girls, obviously it's kissing guys too. Everybody was just kissing, feeling each other, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was the Molly, I don't know what it was, but the women were definitely crazy, you know what I'm saying? Had a few try to kiss on me and stuff like that, but I'm not with all that. But the women definitely made this a crazy tour, man. Like, I'd never forget it. You know what I'm saying? Even got some women from my homies too, you know what I'm saying? Shout out OD Chris. We ain't gonna talk about it. But for real though, aside from the craziness, the best part of the tour for me was being able to actually just be on this tour and to spread my music all across the country, and not only spread my music, but being able to bring my brother and my friends at the time, bring them on tour, and then being able to put them on a big stage that they haven't been on before that, you know what I'm saying? So it felt good to bring them with me and give them a taste of my success, you know what I'm saying? Because what type of person only does things for themselves, you know what I'm saying? If we all trying to make it, why would the person who's ahead not try to bring everyone with them? That would be a selfish person, and I'm far from selfish. So I felt great being able to bring them and to show them what this industry would be like. And furthermore, just to have that camaraderie with me, you know what I'm saying? Just to have them there to support me. And that was one of my favorite things of the tour. And like, I can't wait to do it again, man. And I can't wait to have all my friends and family involved with this one. I'm sorry for everyone who missed out, who didn't get to see us perform or didn't get to come. But I'm going right back at it again. Yo, want money, you fi shake your money maker.